Boxing King Media. We are here with the new IBF European Heavyweight Champion, Kash Ali. We turned up today in Rotherham,
Yeah.
your hometown. The street is packed out with everyone. People out partying, dancing, drums being played. It's been over a week since you won your fight.
Yeah.
When do these celebrations stop?
Well, it took me off. It took me by God as well. No, just since Friday, it's been mad. Everyone, family, friends, new sports, old sports. Everyone just been going mad, and I think everyone just appreciates the win. What I don't know, won the title.
What? Obviously, going into this fight, you knew potentially if you win,
Yeah.
everything's going to change for you.
Yes.
So we will get to the fight, but just tell me, like, in the days after, what's changing in your day-to-day life?
I've not had 5 minutes to myself. That's a start. No, it's been good. It's been good. I've been going out meeting people, going out. Just everyone is just want to just be around me being the champion and stuff, which is all positive stuff. So it's good to see all people getting together, and it's nice. It's a nice feeling.
Obviously, we first met a few years ago when we filmed our documentary on you. Obviously, looking at your shape and your weight then,
Yeah.
I can clearly see you're a lot lighter now, because I know you love your food.
Yeah.
So, obviously, post-fight, where did you go to eat?
You know what? This week I've been everywhere. I've had a bit of everything. Been out with good friends, good families. Every day's been a different meal. But I've enjoyed it. But I've had a good week off and back to the grind next week.
Well, what was your first post-fight meal? Because I know you would have had something on your mind that you're thinking.
You know what? It's funny. Before it was like that, but now because before this fight, I've been eating clean, eating good. Everything. I don't know. Just it's not been as good, the food and stuff. I've enjoyed the company. I've enjoyed my friends and family's company rather than the food, to be honest.
Okay, so we're going to go back to the moments just before you walked out to the ring. Massive opportunity for you. You promoted Dennis Hobson.
Yeah.
You know, he staged an outdoor event at the Sheffield Arena car park. It looked amazing, from being there firsthand. Just explain to me what was going through your mind. You're in the changing rooms, moments before your ring walk.
Yeah.
You must have been nervous. It's your first big title fight.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind at that moment?
You know, like I said, me and Richard, we've been training together for about over a year now, and it was just we put the effort in, we put the work in. We're coming on. I'm learning from Richard. He's a brilliant coach, and it showed on the night. But before I've been sparring hard, been sparring Chisora, Parker. Richard's been taking me up and down the country, and the work what we do on it. What I've been doing in sparring. It was time to show what I can actually do. Like I said, people that know me, they know what I can do. But it was time to show it on the big stage, and I proved it. And like I said, Dennis and Steve, they put a brilliant show on with Fight Zone, which is a new TV channel, which is I think is going to kick off with that. And the pressure was on. It was on. It was my first comeback fight. Not comeback fight, but it was my first title fight. As you said, big fight. The kid was a big puncher. It could have been a banana skin fight. He was up for it, and the pressure was on. Like I said, with Fight Zone just coming. Imagine I went there and boom, it didn't go the way we expected. But you know what? I channeled it in the right way. I was relaxed when I walked in. I was cool, calm. Walked in. I knew I've trained after this. Training, do you know it's so good to get the training camera around, knowing you're with somebody, a trainer who knows what he's talking about, and with all the stuff what we've done together. So I was confident, I was calm. Obviously, you have the adrenaline and all that's kicking in, but I was calm, man. I was confident, definitely, because I put the work in. Like I said, I've been confident when I've not put the work in, and now when I do put the work in, look what's happened.
So going into the fight. Obviously, I've seen some of your early knockouts, and I know you love the uppercut. I think your fourth, fifth fight, you were knocking people out with that uppercut. But it's a different type of uppercut now.
Yes.
It's a lot sharper.
Yeah.
It seems like it hurts when you're hitting them with it. Explain to me, was that part of your game plan? Or just explain to me going into that fight, how did that unfold?
Yeah, like I said, we had a game plan, to be honest, I feel like it went exactly how we... No, it's like, well, nothing ever goes exactly 100%, does it? But there was stuff what we've been practicing in the gym. And I showed that in the ring, but like I said, getting behind the jab. And the uppercut, the kid, is a tough kid. I probably threw it quite early. I thought, no, I've caught it with this. The game plan, what I did it a lot faster than what I was supposed to, you know what I mean? But that's because I seen the opening, there's a bit of fight, you see his chance, and I took it, I hurt him. I thought, you know what, I can take him out with this shot. He's not moving his head. And I thought, I'll time him. I slowed it down a bit, I let him come on to me, he was winding his body shots in, and I timed it perfect. I Because I just set him up with it. I think it was a 2-3 I threw in a row, which you don't expect in heavyweight. So I think that's what it was an element of surprise for him.
So going to that first knockdown, you dropped him, he got straight back
Yeah.
up. I think a lot of your fans probably expected you to jump on him.
Yeah.
But it was role reversals.
Yeah.
He came charging straight at you. What was going through your mind when you saw that happen?
You know what? I caught him with the uppercut before I dropped him. I think I broke that one. I seen blood gushing out his nose. I thought, you know what? His nose is definitely broke. I could see him wincing, with the pain. I thought I'm gonna catch him again, but that one took him down. But when he got back, I knew he was a tough kid. He was a game, young, strong, typical hands up, strong kid. So I'm glad I got him out there, to be honest.
So it goes into round 3. You dropped him already. Then he went in. He threw 3-4 uppercuts back to back.
Yeah.
Because I've seen you fight before. Your early fights. Kash Ali normally, to me, if somebody saw one of your earlier fights, I'd think he throws a couple of jabs, then he's on the back foot, hopping around. But this Kash Ali went straight in, behind his jab, boom, on the inside, throwing 4 or 5 uppercuts. Where did you get all that confidence from?
Like I said, that comes with, I'm always calm, I believe in myself. Like I said, I've been in fights where I've not probably had the right training. No, I've not had the right training, not the best diets, and I've still pulled out. I've still, I've pulled it out the window, and I got the bag. I won the, what's the saying? I pulled the win out the bag. Is it something like that?
Something like that.
Somewhere along them lines.
I get what you're saying. Because I remember you said in the build-up to the David Price fight where you've gone into sparring, after eating doner kebabs the night before.
Yeah.
I could see the shape you're in. You could tell by your jawline.
Yeah.
How did that change?
Like I said, me and Richard, we go through everything, our diet, we do everything together, and it was just using our common sense, and like I said, just cut out the junk food. It's not like I was on a particular diet where I had to eat this, but it was just cut the junk out. Look, I trimmed the fat, my body was in shape, and I was fit, I was ready to go 10, 12, 15 rounds, whatever it was. But like I said, that's where it comes down. The confidence normally, one, you got to believe in yourself, and number 2, it's in the training. When you put the rounds in your sparring, top level guys, and you're holding your own with them, it's not about me knocking him out or me getting knocked out or anything, but in sparring, if you hold your own, and you think, hang on, these are top level guys, I'm holding my own. What me and Richard are working on is working in the spars. I'm just going to take him to the fight. And that's what gives you confidence. You're doing good in sparring, and you think, you know what, I can do this in a fight, and then boom, it happened. What I've been practicing, it happened in the fight.
Credit to you. Going back, when you won that Central Area heavyweight title, and I know your dad was in your corner, for the first time he was in your corner, he got to see you win that title.
Yeah.
And I saw when you won, when you knocked out Thomas Salek, you looked up in the sky.
Yeah.
I know you must have sent a personal message to your dad. What was going through your mind? Obviously, your dad wasn't there for this fight. He passed away. A few months after the Central Area title fight.
I miss him every day, and I think he's always in my prayers. And I know he's looking down on me with the other people up there as well. And there's something. It's one achievement that with many more to come. And after that was one off the list.
Have you had the opportunity to visit your dad's grave?
Yeah, I did actually. I went the next day. I took my belt down. I put it on his grave. I thought this is one closer to the dream, the goal that I have in mind.
Okay. So obviously, people, when you mention Kash Ali, people, the first thing that comes to the mind is what happened in the David Price fight. We're not going to go into that, but that's the first thing that comes to people's mind. Do you feel like you've achieved some sort of redemption, the respect of the fans? Not just the fact that you won that title and you beat a guy that you were probably the favourite against, but the way you did it. You used your jab, the uppercuts, your aggressive style of fighting, the fact that you turned up in really good shape. Yeah. Do you feel you got the fans' respect back?
No, 100%. If you know fighting, that kid was no pushover. You look at his fights before. He's never been knocked out like that fast. He's only been stopped once, and that was against a good kid, and it took him 6-7 rounds. But yeah, I feel like people that know fighting, it's common sense. They can look at the fight and think, right, that was a good boxing performance. So it has a change, to be honest. Since I've won this fight, it's not been that too many negatives. It's been all 80-90% positive for me, the fight. So I think people are getting the real image of what I really am.
Okay. I'm going to move on to your trainer, Richie Towers. Obviously, Richard took you on after the Price fight. And obviously, over the months or over the fights that you've had under him, I could see the slow improvements you made. How important has Richie Towers been? You know, the way he is as a coach,
Yeah.
his training style. Because I know he really respects the science of boxing.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you could speak to him for hours about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sport. What influence and what things did he bring to your game and life in general?
Yeah, so I've known me and Richard known each other a long times. But I used to spar with him when he used to be pro. So that relationship as a we're brothers, we're good friends. But when it comes to the boxing side of stuff, Richard, when it comes to boxing, he's serious. He's got his ways, and like I said, I went to him. We met. We always, like I said, we've always known each other. But I'm about training wise. Once we start training together, things start to show. Like I said, people are complimenting. Look at your physique. Look at your fighting. But stuff what we're working on, what he knows. He's got experience. He had 16, 17 fights himself, European champion, and look at the guys he sparred with. So all that knowledge, what he's picked up, he probably never. He didn't. He never did have the full chance to give it to himself because he started boxing late. You got to remember. But what he took on from all the stuff in boxing, he's passing it down to all us. Like I said, we've got some good kids in the gym. But I'm proud that I'm his first champion, and it showed. It goes to show. Look, we've been together a year. I was still a seasoned professional when I met Richard, but I feel like a lot of fighters they don't improve at that level. Really, when you've had 14, 15 fights, how much do you really improve? But look, I've had after a year with Richard, look how much I've improved, and the video of my fight speaks for itself. So that's a credit to Richard as well.
But would you say, that the saying where they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, you prove that wrong?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. It's what you're teaching them. That's what I believe. What you're teaching them. If you're gonna show old dog new tricks, is what tricks are you showing them? Is it the right stuff or is it the wrong stuff? Like I said, I've fought before with probably training, getting through training, but probably not the right stuff. Richard's adding stuff, and you know what? Everyone says, "Yeah, the best is yet to come. This is yet to come. This is the beginning." But honestly, this is just the start of us. We've not even gone into certain stuff with training. What we do, it's basic stuff what we've been doing, but very, very effective. And we're going to add layers to me, and I'm going to be an unstoppable force in the heavyweight division.
What did Richard say to you after you win? You've obviously had a few private moments together, but nobody else has been around. Is there anything you can share with us?
Just keep listening and doing what I'm doing. That's where I think people go wrong. Sometimes they have success and they try adding stuff on, the wrong stuff, or listening to other people. Like I said, when it's fame in it, I guess. When you're getting a bit more, you get fame, don't you, for winning fights, winning titles, and people have their input. Family, friends, non-fans, supporters, haters, whatever.
I've seen that today.
You've seen it. They're all my lovely people.
I've seen your family and friends give you boxing advice.
Yeah, but that's more just that's out of love, innit? But it's what I'm always gonna take in what people say. But it's when you start letting people come and take control of your life in that boxing environment. That's where I think people go wrong and they fail. They want to change this, change. But if something's working, why change it?
So we'll move on to Dennis Hobson.
Yeah.
Obviously, he invested in you. If you be straight about it, he invested a lot of money into you. Some could say he's rolled the dice. How important was Dennis Hobson in bringing you back to where you are right now?
Listen, Dennis Hobson's track record speaks for itself. He's done it. Look at the fighters he's had. Look at the world champions he's had. He's had British Commonwealths and all that. But I'm on that world champions. England's not a massive country. That's number one. Number two, Dennis didn't have the favours of the biggest TV deal straight away. So that's not a fluke to take people to championship level. Some talented than others, some were not as talented as others, but he took him to that level. So I believe he's up there in the best. When it comes to promoting business, he's the best. And Steve as well, who's Dennis's partner, they're both doing a great job. And now Fight is on top of that. It gives me the platform, and not just myself. It gives. Look how much fighters there are now on this show, Fight Zone. Before, nobody's heard of them. Generally, if you're not on Sky or boxing on big platforms, you're 1-0, 2-0. Nobody. If you're not boxing on a big TV deal, nobody knows you. How much kids can 5-0? Nobody knows them. But now, because they're in Fight Zone, their names are getting out there as well. Apart from myself, the other kids, like the up and coming kids, 6-0, 7-0, they're all going to be in good fights. And Dennis's and Fight Zone, they're putting that big, putting the platform on, aren't they?
Good stuff. And I think Dennis, to be fair, and Richard, both, they've obviously been massive influences in your life, and they probably deserve the credit that you just gave them. Like I said to you earlier, the Kash Ali that I saw, 4 or 5 fights in. I remember you fought a guy called James Oliphant 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, tough journey, man. Tough man.
That Kash Ali, like I said, boxed on the outside, used his jab, and almost seemed a bit shy to let his hands go. How would that Kash Ali fare with the Kash Ali that fought last Friday?
People forget, I was a young kid. I'm a man, I'm a young man. I think people forget I had no amateur background. I had 2 fights as amateur. What is that when I was young? So I had no experience at all whatsoever. I've gone in there, young boy, 19, 20, 21, fighting fully grown men. People say I've heard people say Joshua less experience, Joshua 50 amateur fights. If somebody's had 40 amateur fights or less, people say is that no experience? 40 fights, this lad. But even other fighters, they've had loads of kickboxing fights, still fighting. I know the experience in the boxing ring. Well, I never know MMA fights, but I'm just saying in the fighting professionally, I had no experience, and I'm learning the job. So it's a big thing to me. I'm going in there fighting fully grown men. I'm learning why every round by round. I'm learning. I'm fighting. I'm thinking, boy, but now all these years has made me tougher and stronger. I do believe a lot of people would quit if they was in my position. I've been through some shit and I've come through it, and I've got faith. You know, so faith can move mountains.
A good saying. So I'm going to move on to your next move. Everyone's wondered who you're going to fight next. That title there, it looks amazing, by the way. That has possibly got you a top 15 ranking with the IBF.
Yeah.
You potentially could be 2 fights away from fighting for the world title.
Yeah.
I know Filip Hrgović is struggling for an opponent at the moment. The IBF is struggling to make a final eliminator. If that opportunity came up, how does that sound to you?
Listen, with this, first of all, I'm enjoying my moment with this. I appreciate how far I've come. It's not about some of the people say it's got my belt with me. I just appreciate how far I've come. But for me, I believe I can go all the way. It's not about calling names out. But I want to become the heavyweight champion of the world. And whoever's got that title at that time, I will beat them. I genuinely believe I will beat them. If I didn't believe that, I won't be here. This don't mean nothing if I didn't believe in myself. But like I said, probably going to defend this a few times, or once, twice, or whatever. And like I said, whoever is there, that's it. If I've got to fight eliminator, whatever I'm going to do, final eliminator to get me close to my world title shot, that's what I'll do. But like I said, some big fights in Britain as well. There's plenty of guys there. So what's that saying? The world is your oyster.
That's it. You're coming out
hey, Donny.
You're coming out with all the sayings now, aren't you? I'm going to ask you last night.
I've been rehearsing them for, I knew all the interviews were coming.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
So, Daniel Dubois last night, he won. He come back after quite a heavy loss. Did you watch his fight? What did you think?
I did see the knockout, but I was sparring. I wasn't sparring with Daniel. Me and Daniel were both up in Chisora's camp, and I seen Daniel sparring. Obviously, that was a few weeks before getting ready for this fight as well. And he was looking good. And I assumed he was going to do good against this kid. I did see the knockout. It looked like a nice, good, clean knockout. But Daniel's a big, strong kid. He's got power, so I'm not surprised he knocked him out, to be honest.
Okay, so just wrapping up, we're potentially talking, if things go to plan, in 12 to 18 months, you potentially could be in a position where you've got a world title fight opportunity your way. In that time, any one of these guys I'm going to name to you could be a world champion. You're talking Tyson Fury, Usyk, Joe Joyce, Wilder, Anthony Joshua, or even Dubois. Any one of these 4 or 5 guys could be a world champion. Pick me a name out of them. If you had to pick one and say, I want to fight that guy and I'd love to fight him for the world title.
For me, it's about who's got the belt at the time. Like I said, I respect every man. I respect every fighter. But them, the names you mentioned, I guess they've all got their strengths and I believe they've all got their weaknesses. But obviously, right now, I'd say the best out of them is, personally, I'd say Tyson Fury. But if he's there, whoever's there, I'm not going to call out names and say, I'll beat this guy, I'm not that kind of person. But at that time, when I get my chance, whoever's there is going to be in for the hardest. They're going to be in for a real fight, and I'm not messing about. I'm in there. I don't talk crap. But like I said, I'm not. That's 18 months time, 2 years, whatever, 12 months. For now, I've got my belt here, and we're going to defend it and enjoy it.
I'm going to drop a name in for you. Would you be interested in defending that against David Price for real redemption?
Yes, of course. They're the kind of fights. Now I've got this. That could be like some eliminator, maybe. We don't know. International belt or the European, or the European here, obviously. But yeah, definitely. Now there's something on the table now. And I don't know what David Price is doing, but if he come back, and I don't know if he's doing, of course I'd fight him. If it could be made, I think it'd be a big fight, actually.
To wrap up, have you got anything to say for your fans, your family, who have obviously been partying with you all week, trying to feed you crap?
Yeah.
Have you got any messages for them?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone who turned up to the show, tuned in to watch me fight all week, and invited me to nice places this week. Everyone, friends, family, new supporters, new fans. the haters are becoming less. So less. We don't want no haters. But if they're there, they're there. We're not bothered. But yeah, I'm just so grateful. I thank God that I've got that. I can look back, and 2 years ago, a year ago, people ripped me off really, didn't they? They did, and people. I've seen other fighters complain when they get internet trolls. This, that, the abuse I got was worse than any of them, and they complain. I'm not complaining, but it's just good to look back and just be like, I'm so grateful and appreciate what God has given me.
Good stuff. Can you tell the fans where they can follow you on social media?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Ali Kash, Instagram, Kash Ali 313, and Kash Ali Boxing on Twitter.
Kash, I know you're a very busy man, and I know your time is precious, so I appreciate you giving us 20 minutes.
No, thank you.
For a good, insightful interview, so thank you again. So, Boxing King Media is signing out with Kash Ali.
Thank you, bro.
ਸਾਡੇ ਦਿਲ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਾਨ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਤਾਂ ਸੱਜਦਾ ਜੇ ਨੱਚੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਪਹਿਲਵਾਨ।